Hello everyone, welcome back. For today I'm going to have a best out of one. It's a single match taken from the early stages of the ICCUp Nation Voice Korean Weekly Tournament. As you guys know, it's an event played online on the Korean servers that involves a lot of A-teamers and B-teamers from the top Korean pro gaming teams. This being from the early stages, it's a single match. Whoever wins this one passes on to the next series. And I'm curious about this specific match because it involves two players that I already seen played on the GSL before. They're solid players from very good top Korean teams, and hopefully they're going to provide us with a nice show. We're going to have spawning here on this 2 o'clock position, this yellow Zerg that goes by the name of TSLRevival, member of Team SCV Life. Very solid Zerg, keep that in mind. He's not one of the top at the moment, but you guys know how hard it is to get to the top of the food chain in the Korean pro gaming scene. It's not for everyone. That doesn't mean that TSLRevival and so many other players aren't quality players. But he's gonna have a big contender, a big opponent here on this matchup. He's going to be facing against this blue Terran that is a fairly well-known Terran. There's already several Korean players and fans stating that this guy might be one of the very underrated Terrans playing currently in Korea. That Korean name translated to English means NSHSJjakji, and Jjakji has been getting a little bit of visibility lately. He's been playing on some online tournaments, also played a couple of matchups on GSL events, so we might be seeing a powerhouse in the works here. Maybe one day in the future it'll explode on the scene and you're gonna have the next beastly Terran right in front of our eyes. For now, we're taking a look at what the players are doing, just following the builds. As you can see here on Jjakji's side, seems like he's gonna go for plenty of aggression to start with. 2 racks opening, so he's gonna have plenty of Marines popping out and throwing aggression onto Revival's bases. As you can see, he was able to just wall off with the 2 barracks and that supply depot, so I don't think this drone will be able to enter. Oh, we just got here, spotted it, it was even open, but I mean, he spotted that it's a 2 racks opening, so it's time to get some proper defense. And seems like that Revival decided to go hatch first, so he might not have enough defenses when all of the units from Jjakji arrive on his natural expo. As you can see, the spawning pool is not even halfway done yet. He's trying to stack up some gas to get the Zergling speed, but this is gonna take a little while. Still, apparently it seems like that Revival might have a plan because he's not cancelling his expo. He's gonna go all the way with it. Doesn't seem like he's very concerned with the forces that are currently advancing towards his way. There's another SCV, more Marines, and you have plenty of blue dots advancing here, as you can see. Plenty of SCVs actually heading along with the Marines, so probably he wants to have some more to get some bunkers landed down and repaired. And noticing this positioning here by Jjakji, he's just placing all of these units here as a way of containing any advancement with small groups of units coming down the ramp from the main base. And there it is, the first bunker getting landed down, while at the same time we have 8 Zerglings getting built by Revival, so he's going to try to get a Zergling defense, and he's going to need to trust his micro, needs to bring some heavy micro to the table if he wants to defend against this amount of aggression. Plenty of SCVs, some Marines, 3 Marines for now, but there's more Marines coming. Oh, he intercepted one there. Is it going to get killed? Yes, he killed one of those Marines, now pulling back with the Zerglings. He needs to be careful, he cannot lose those Zerglings, but meanwhile, the bunker just got finished, instantly jumped with 4 Marines in it, and now he's going to be able to start destroying and poking at this hatchery. Even the SCVs helping out, providing some damage there. And at the same time, on his base, he's trying to get more Zerglings out, and there's a small skirmish going on here, intercepting the forces that were coming all the way north from the base on the south from Jjakji. I guess he's going to be able to finish off this Marine, but the other ones were able to reach the main base, so no chance for the Zerglings to reach those ones and kill them. But meanwhile, as you can see, the hatchery is going to get destroyed, and pop goes the hatchery, boom! And I'm not sure that this was on the plans of Revival, as you might imagine. I mean, I thought that he had some sort of plan to defend this, but it's really hard against this amount of aggression. Notice the amount of SCVs trying to repair the bunker, and at the same time, metabolic boost, the Zergling speed is getting almost finished with a lot of Zerglings here on the left side, and more hanging here on the right side. I think he's just waiting for the Zergling speed to kick in, and he's going to try to make a pincer attack here. There it is, a lot of Zerglings getting a cool surround, sweet surround around that bunker, destroying the bunker really quickly, and now SCVs and Marines gonna get chewed upon so fast. There it is, those SCVs just getting finished off very quickly, and the remaining SCV on this right side getting killed. So the aggression is finished, but he got a big delay on his natural expo on the hatchery. He's landing it once more, and now he's gonna be in trouble because he's gonna be a bit delayed on his opening. He's trying to counter by sending a lot of his a lot of his Zerglings all the way down south to try to enter the base from Jjakji, but Jjakji was already expecting it. Bunker there on the back, also plenty of Marines, so no chance there. There was no aggression on Jjakji's side, no Zerglings entering his base and trying to wreak havoc. And at the same time, notice that behind all of that pressure that he was applying on Revival, he was getting his command center finished, so he's preparing to expand soon enough, and he's going to be perfectly on time for a Terran player, no problem whatsoever. It's a Revival that will have to try to do some kind of radical maneuver to keep himself onto this game. Though on the supply there's not much of a gap, and actually we do see that Revival is ahead. On the economy, balanced there, and even has more workers, more harvesters. And as you can see, the answer by Revival was to go for a fast third. So he's going to be able to play out of 3 bases fairly soon, and at the same time we can see that he's leaving all of his Zerglings here close to the natural exfil from Jjakji. He's going to be able to notice the moment that Jjakji tries to advance and land this command center, now an orbital command, onto this natural exfil. So we have a 1 base Terran playing against a 3 base Zerg, though the 3rd base is still not finished. Hopefully he's going to start to stack up on his drone count so he can have drones to work out of the 3 bases at the same time. It's also risky, I know, meaning that he's committing resources, he's committing larvae to workers instead of massing up a proper army, but might be the right way to go. Get it like this monstrous economy that will be able to crush the Terran player even after that very solid pressure. Meanwhile, inside Jjakji's base, as you can see, seems like he's going to transition. 2 racks opening now into 2 factories, getting a lot of Hellions out, it seems. There's already 2 coming out. With those 2 factories, seems like he might be committing to plenty of mech play, and even getting the Infernal Pre-Igniter. So, cool opening here by Jjakji from that pressure, that harass, into a solid mech build, or at least mixing it with plenty of bio. I guess I'm gonna have to wait some more minutes to see which way this is heading. And meanwhile, on Revival side, we have already here on this corner Baneling's Nest and Roach Warren. So he's reinforcing his unit composition. The Roaches will be quite solid to defend against the Hellion harass, especially because they're going to have Blue Flame. So it would be a good idea for Revival to be able to fend off and put away those Hellions as fast as possible. This 3rd base is already alive and kicking. Not much of a worker count for now. He needs more drones here, though he is producing some more. And it's quite fragile at the moment, as you can see, quite not defended, undefended, and this might be spelling trouble. Did it just evolve? Did it just expanded way too fast and won't have enough to withstand the push? Because as you can see, there's plenty of Marines heading its way. Also some Hellions getting massed up here on the natural exfil from Jjakji, and at the same time, oh, they just passed by each other, but no contact there, and we're gonna have plenty of Marines and Hellions advancing towards the bases from Revival. Look at the amount of Marines there. This is gonna be quite troublesome, and the Hellions as well. All of them, I think, already with the Blue Flame, getting ready to start roasting some drones and some Zerglings, and there it is. Look at how fast they go through that Zergling wave. Banelings advancing, but Banelings with no speed outside of the creep, that is not gonna work. He's losing so many Banelings and Zerglings. Now the Roaches showing up, trying to thwart the aggression, shooting down, focusing the fire on that Hellion count. Well played there, well defended by Revival. Now Revival having to deal with a lot of pressure here on his natural exfil, with plenty of Marines shooting down the forces, but the Roaches just pop out, and the Roaches have a sturdy HP to resist, and also armored units to resist the aggression from those Marines. And now with a massive wave of Zerglings able to thwart the aggression. Well defended there, with still a couple of Hellions trying to get some roast going on, some barbecue going on there on the 3rd base from Revival. But seems like that Revival will be able to handle the pressure and defend this. So well defended by Revival. Did he got a big hit? Well, not as big as I expected, and as you can see, he's making a big round of drones now, so he's trying to recover his economy. And the game is still up, still open on the table for both sides of this game, for the Terran and Zerg side. As you can see, taking a look here at the bases, we do have now Revival grabbing the gas inside his main base, teching up, evolving for the 2nd layer of tech by getting the lair research, the morphing getting done on his on his main base, and meanwhile just leaving most of his forces there on this front position close to the Xel'Naga watchtowers to keep an eye on all the movement incoming from Jjakji's side. Notice that at the moment Revival has the map control, he's gaining dominance over both the Xel'Naga watchtowers, and at the same time expanding to a fourth, so boy, he's committed to a big macro game here. He's basically macro mode engaged, and he's just going for the rich mineral field. Risky maneuver once more. On the previous assault by Jjakji, he had what it takes to defend, though he had some losses there, and now he's going to be playing out of 4 bases while Jjakji is still stuck on 2 bases. On the economy, it's actually Jjakji still ahead because he's just throwing all of his mules on these mineral lines, but this won't last for long because you can see that his mineral line here on the main base is starting to get really drained, and he needs to expand or needs to throw a killing blow anytime soon onto his opponent. Inside his base we can already see Starport getting some medivacs out, plenty of barracks, 3 racks and 2 factories, now pumping out some siege tanks. So seems like this is going to be basically the standard staple Terran build with marines and siege tanks being used as the bulk of the army. And another big encounter here with all of those banelings trying to explode on the marines, but no, well microed there, pulling them, kiting all of those banelings while pulling the marines back and not allowing those banelings to get close to the marine force, to the bioforce. Now, something that is troubling me is the fact that there's still no baneling speed. There it is finally, but there's plenty of creep spread. As you can see, he's trying to grab as much of the map with creep, connecting all of his 4 bases. Obviously this makes perfect sense, especially if he wants to benefit fully of that baneling speed on those banelings. He has plenty of Zerglings with Zergling speed as well, and they're blistering fast on this creep, and as you can see he's going to prepare himself for another attack here. This time the banelings advancing with speed out of the creep. Nice micro once more by Jjakji, pulling all of his banelings, pulling all of his marines back, trying to defend against the baneling harass, and now with a good micro move picking up all of those marines on the medivac, while we witness a drop ensuing here on this 3rd base from Revival. Revival instantly pulling all of his workers out and sending his Zerglings to try to thwart the assault, but the loaded medivac is still going back and forth and probably gonna head to this 4th base that doesn't have any workers here at the moment, only has a single queen, but he might be able to stop the works here for a long time. As you can see, he's just gonna leave it on a corner, try probably to attempt the drop soon, and meanwhile on the main base we already have the Spire working on the upgrade on the flyer attack level 1. So seems like we're gonna have a transition into Mutalisk play with plenty of harass, I'm assuming, from Revival. He wants to take the pressure off his bases, he wants to just be able to produce and develop his economy without being harassed 24/7. Oh, nice destruction there, catching all of the units inside that medivac, and now it's going to be the Mutalisks wrapping it up, finishing off the medivac and ending with that harass, while at the same time we witness a 2nd drop ensuing on the main base. Obviously we're going to have a Revival needing to send some units to defend this aggression here. He cannot lose his production buildings this early in the game, and now a lot of Zerglings showing up. Instantly the medivac just covering and grabbing all of the bioforces and running away with them, making sure that they wouldn't be caught off guard and killed. But seems like that we're gonna have this Mutalisk wing, this small Mutalisk wing, intercepting the medivac once more, and like this there won't be any chance whatsoever for these Marines to attempt to drop once more. Again, whoa, Revival is just completely bonkers on the upgrade, on the expansions. Look at this, 5th base already, while we do have Jjakji expanding to his 3rd. Lots of mules here. Oh my god, look at the mulage. Can I call it the mulage? Is that even English? Well, you guys just correct me, feel free. But look at the amount of mules, and that translates in such a solid economy, even being so behind on the expo count, on the base count. 3 bases against 4 bases, the power of the mule just here pumping out a lot of minerals. Obviously this will drain the mineral lines faster for the Terran player, so it will force him to make a decision, make a final decision on this game, or keep expanding while there's still bases available. Notice how far the creep is already spread for Revival. Revival has been doing a brilliant work on his creep spread. He has like half the map covered in creep, and there's already creep knocking on the 3rd base, knocking on the door of the 3rd base from Jjakji, so he's kind of brutal. And I'm sorry for taking the HP bars off, but when you have a lot of flying units and Zerglings and all of that, it starts to get really messy and you actually don't understand exactly what's going on. So I will try to select some specific units while in battle, and avoid having all the HP bars at the same time. And here it comes, all the forces from Revival advancing through the creep onto the siege tanks. Oh, all of the siege tanks sieging up, and Revival running away on the last second. I'm not sure if that was the best way to go about it, but he had a big force there, and the siege tanks weren't sieged when the Zerglings were actually in contact with the siege tanks, so he might have just pulled there, but I guess he just decided to pull back, and seems like he's going to make some kind of assault here on the third base. Keep in mind that he has visibility all the way to this point. He doesn't actually see the base, but he knows it's there. He already had some movements going on there, and you're going to have all of this mutas advancing to the main base of Jjakji, focusing the fire on the engineering bay. There's some air defenses here, and there's a big mass of Zerglings and Banelings getting prepared to assault on the third base as well. You're going to follow that on the picture-in-picture screen, so I can show both things at the same time, with a big Muta wing just advancing here, focusing the fire and destroying as much as possible of that main base. They actually didn't make that much damage. They need to try to strike again, I would say, and there's not much left of the forces that were advancing here through this third base from Jjakji, but seems like he's morphing more Banelings, meaning that he might be planning ahead to advance and make another charge. Yeah, plenty of Banelings there. He might be needing something else to help out back up here. A drop ensuing on this fifth base from Revival. Massive blast there, catching all of the forces that Revival had committed to that drop. At the same time, Spine Crawlers getting established on the back of the base, so he's trying to keep all of his bases defended. Notice all of this positioning with lots of Spine Crawlers on all of his bases, and at the same time picking up a sixth base. Seriously, he's just taking the whole map. It feels a bit like a Soren Zerg. As you can see, he's on 6 base play. This base is getting completely harassed. It won't last long, and it feels like he probably overstretched himself, overextended himself on the base play. I mean, playing out of 5 bases against his 3 base Terran, it's gonna start showing on the economy. As you can see, we do have now the Zerg player leading the charge, and you're gonna have a massive assault here on the third base once more, with Zerglings, Banelings, Mutalisks running all around the mineral line and the bio forces. There's nothing left, with Jjakji forced to lift his orbital command, and his base is getting completely razed. He's trying to escape with the SCV forces while the bulk of his army arrives here, but doesn't seem like he was able to profit much from it. The forces from Revival were able to escape. Him playing out of 5 bases will be able to replenish his army really fast, and at the same time you can see the economy getting a massive hit here on Jjakji's side, basically because he's stuck on this 3 base play for way too long, and the worker count has a massive difference. So this game is completely on the heads of Revival at the moment, and we do see that we're gonna have some Thors coming out, so seems like that Jjakji might be trying to get some sort of counter, some sort of defense against the aggression put out by Revival. All of that Mutalisk wing that's been keeping going back and forth, trying to destroy as much as possible of his main base. So maybe he's trying to just get some proper defenses against the air force that Revival assembled, and as you can see, replenished it again very quickly. So you're gonna have another big Mutalisk wing ensuing here. Let's take a look at the unit count. 26 mutas is a lot of mutas, I'm sorry to say, and 99 Zerglings, 8 Banelings, and now he's going for some Infestor play. This is getting really interesting. At the same time, Infestor play going on, and what's this, like 3, 4, 5, 6 base getting grabbed here on this far south position. I mean, this is the rich mineral field from his opponent, and he's going all out bonkers on macro and actually taking his chance to grab it. And here he comes, surrounding that Thor. Look at how fast he goes through the Thor, and now the Mutas trying to get into the action, into the fray, helping out the Zerglings, but basically he sniped that Thor and had to run away. Taking a look here at the bases, let me just take a look. There's plenty of static defenses on that base. He's actually taking really good care of all of his bases. There's the Infestation Pit getting established on the Natural Expo, and at the same time he's preparing to go for the final layer of tech, for the Hive Tech, and wrap it up, I would say, maybe with some Broodlords. What you guys think? For now we have another assault ensuing here, and boy, I'm quite surprised with Revival. He's just basically taking the whole map for himself and pinning a Jjakji into this 3 base play for so long that I don't think that Jjakji will have an easy way of coming back here. Destroying the base, there it is, the 6th base from Revival finally destroyed. He's even attempting to take the rich mineral field from his opponent, I mean seriously, and and at the same time we have the Mutalisk Queen keep going back and forth and forcing the massive bulk here from Jjakji to go north and south, but not actually be able to assault anything. And now he's going to lose his orbital command on the third. This is going to be a massive blow onto the plans of Jjakji, because now he's stuck on his two-base play, being the two bases, the main base and the natural expo, both of them with the mineral lines completely exhausted. So bye-bye money, bye-bye resources. Jjakji doesn't have anything else. Look at this. I think it's just time for Revival to mass up his army, mass it up, just fix the unit composition that it might seem as the best fit to just crush the bio forces from Jjakji and wrap up this game. As you can see, Jjakji has this here, that's it. This is his forces, and he's forced to long distance mine, as you can see, and attempting to land a command center once again on that position. He's actually lifting it up from another base, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he lifted up from the main base. So meaning that I don't see a good future for Jjakji. I predict that he's going to have a very grim future, actually. While we do see Revival advancing towards this big siege tank line. Whoa, so many siege tanks with the with the Mutalisks, Banelings, trying to destroy. These Mutalisks will be able to make mincemeat all of these units so easily. They're already 2-1 on upgrades. The tanks are on 1-0. He was able to grind down the bio forces, and now there's a small batch of Marines advancing here, but I don't expect much of a future from this small batch of Marines. Let's see the upgrades. They're on 1-1 on the upgrades, while the 2-1 Mutalisks will be able to just go through this small batch very easily, and we do have the Infestors that are going to help out with fungal growth and so on. Again, this is actually surprising me. We have multiple drops being attempted here on the north side of the bases from Revival, with the third base and fourth base getting harassed. Now 2 Marines here on the rich mineral field trying to poke and prod at it, but this is going to take ages to put the hatchery down, and I'm pretty sure that Revival will be able to send some units here to finish off the aggression. Now he's sending more units, and with this small bulk of forces he might be able to put this expo down. But I mean, this expo doesn't even have workers, so might not be the main one that he should focus on. And here he comes. This Mutalisk wing is just so nasty, it just kills everything that moves. There's no chance whatsoever. Let me take a look at how many. 48 mutas. I mean, this is hardly I don't even know what to say. This is very difficult for Jjakji to hold against, because 48 mutas, as you can see, look at how fast they go through everything that Jjakji had. Even the command centers flying around, they go fast, they go down so fast that Jjakji just got to a point where he didn't have more to put on the field. As you can see, there was a massive difference on the economy. On the armid composition, there was obviously a massive difference as well. We got to this point, this final moment of the game, with 7 Marines against 46 mutas. 2 Infestors had Queens, Banelings and Zerglings, and basically this transition into mutas was just deadly, and Jjakji didn't have what it takes to answer back. So he kinda lost this game, what can I say?